kids and families. Welcome to a special edition of Kids Time. Today, we are celebrating Jesus' resurrection. We are looking at the completion of God's great rescue mission and Jesus' victory over sin and death. This past Friday, Good Friday, during our live story time, I read a sad story. It was how people came and arrested Jesus, even though he had done nothing wrong. How those same people hurt him, laughed at him, mocked him, hit him, and spit on him. It was about Jesus being made to carry that heavy cross outside the city and up a hill, and how he was nailed to that cross and died. If you missed story time, why don't you read the story right now from the Bible with your family? You can find it in Mark chapter 14, starting in verse 43. The story of Jesus' death all happens between that verse and the end of chapter 15. Or you can go find the original recording of the April 10th story time with Pastor Liz on my Facebook. Listen to the first part of the story time where we read from the Jesus Storybook Bible. You can pause this video right now and go and read the story or watch it. It's okay. I can wait. Go on. I'm still waiting. Read the story. I'll be here when you get back. Welcome back. Now, after reading that, have you ever wondered why Good Friday is called good? The things that happened to Jesus weren't good. They were hard and painful and make us sad to even think of them. Jesus didn't go through all those horrible things because they were fun. So why is Good Friday good? It's because of the reason Jesus went through all those things. It was because he knew it was the only way to make things right between God and humans. He went through all of that to rescue people from sin, to destroy sin without destroying God's children. That's you and me. Jesus rescued the whole world, and he did it because of his great love. Love is the heart of God, and it is the center of his rescue plan. Jesus loved people, and he wanted them to be close to God again. It is his love that kept him on the cross, and it is the center of everything he did. The success of his rescue mission is what makes Good Friday good. Only his friends didn't know all that. They didn't know what to do after Good Friday ended. When Jesus died, their world fell apart. They didn't expect Jesus to die, and they hadn't understood what God's rescue plan was all about, even when Jesus warned them. They were confused and scared, and they were uncertain about the future, and they had to hide and they stayed in their rooms. And that's where we're going to start today's story. We're going to be reading from the Jesus Storybook Bible. It's written by Sally Lloyd-Jones and illustrated by Jago. Our story today is called God's Wonderful Surprise. This is the truth of the resurrection from Matthew 18, Mark 16, Luke 24, and John 20. Jesus' friends were sad. They would never see their best friend again. How could this happen? Wasn't Jesus the rescuer? The King God had promised? It wasn't supposed to end like this. Yes, but whoever said anything about the end? Just before sunrise on the third day, God sent an earthquake and an angel from heaven. When the guards saw the angel, they fell down with fright. The angel rolled the huge stone away, sat up on top of it, and waited. At the first glimmer of dawn, Mary Magdalene, and other women headed to the tomb to wash Jesus' body. The early morning sun slanted through the ancient olive trees. Drops of dew glittered on the leaves and grass. Little tears everywhere. The friends walked quietly along the hilly path through the olive garden until they reached the tomb and immediately noticed something odd. It was wide open. They peered through the opening into the dark tomb. But wait, Jesus' body was gone. And something else, a shining man was there with clothes made of lightning. "Don't be scared," the angel said. But they couldn't help it. They screamed anyway. The angel asked them, "What are you doing here? This tomb and tombs are for the dead." The women could not speak. "Jesus isn't dead anymore," he said. "He's alive again." And their hearts leapt. And the angel laughed with such gladness that they felt, for a moment, as if they had woken up from a nightmare. The other women rushed home, but Mary stayed behind. How could this be true? Jesus was definitely dead. How could he be alive? Just then, Mary heard someone else in the garden. Perhaps it's the gardener, she thought. He'll know where Jesus' body is. "I don't know where Jesus is," Mary said, urgently. "I can't find him." But it was all right. Jesus knew where she was, and he had found her. Mary. Only one person said her name like that. She could hear her heart thumping. She turned around. She could just make out a figure. She shaded her eyes to see and thought she was dreaming. But she wasn't dreaming. She was seeing Jesus! Mary fell to the ground. Sudden tears filled her eyes, and great sobs shook her whole body. And all she wanted in that moment was to cling to Jesus and never let him go. "You'll be able to hold on to me later, Mary," Jesus said, very gently, "and always be close to me. But now go and tell the others that I'm alive." Mary ran and ran all the way to the city. She had never run so fast or so far in her life. She felt she could have run forever. She didn't even feel her feet touch the ground. The sun seemed to be dancing and gleaming and bounding across the sky, racing with her and shining brighter than she could ever remember it in a clear, fresh air. And it seemed to her that morning, as she ran, almost as if the whole world had been made anew. Almost as if the whole world was singing for joy. The trees, the tiny sounds in the grass, the birds, her heart. Was God really making everything sad come untrue? Was he making every death come untrue? She couldn't wait to tell Jesus' friends. "They won't believe it!" She laughed. She was right, of course. Jesus' death completed God's rescue plan, and his return to life changed everything. I'm so glad I could share this incredible story with you today. Normally, I would have a family challenge at the end of a Kids Time video, but for today's special resurrection celebration, we're going to do things a little different. First, give your family a big hug and enjoy the day together. Find something you all enjoy doing and do it together. Let the fun of that thing help you celebrate the truth that Jesus is alive. And use it to remember, just like you are with your family, we are now part of God's family. That's all for now. Bye, friends, and have a very happy Resurrection Sunday.